what's going on, guys? Andrew here, back at you with, I think it's day 16 of the 31 days. Maybe it's day 17, I can't remember anymore. But as you can see from the background, and from, again, my video yesterday, It Follows today. Yet another art horror film. And yeah, the past couple years has been like just incredible with art horror films. I'm not going to be reviewing The Babadook until probably November, so that'll probably come next month. But yeah, that's my last art horror film that I really have, I'd say. But yeah, this one here, you know, spoiler there, it's a personal favorite of mine of the art horror films. It's a personal favorite horror film of mine. I would say it's in the top 10 of my favorite, you know, horror films in general. Basically, the story is a girl, like a high school teenager, has her first sexual encounter, and there's this thing now that's following her around, as you can see in the background there. She turned, you know, and she doesn't know what it is, and she doesn't, you know what to do. She keeps just, you know, running away from it. And, you know, that the story kind of progresses, that you kind of figure out, you know, how to get rid of it, you know, how to, you know, how to, you know, like, how to pass it on, all of these things. So, yeah, this one definitely is a very unique premise, and has a very unique premise. I really absolutely love this film. It's like unique. It's very slasher-esque, very supernatural slasher-esque, although I still don't think of it as a slasher movie. But I'd like to address one thing before I get on with the technical and the other things. Now, there's a couple things going around. Now, this is an art horror film, and this is definitely one that has a metaphor to it. Now, there's one going around where they say that it is an STD. Basically, they're passing around because, you know, it passes on through sex. You know, it could be like an STD type thing. I want to say that's flat out wrong. For two reasons. One, it's kind of ridiculous to have the plot be, okay, it's good to pass on an STD, like the metaphor is just an STD. It would be a really stupid metaphor. For one, like, it just wouldn't, it just doesn't make any sense to the plot. Like, it's like you have to pass. The second thing that goes into the first one is David Robert Mitchell, who is the writer and director of this movie, has stated that even if they were wearing protection, which obviously if you're wearing protection, you're protecting yourself against, one, pregnancy, and two, HIV, you know, sexual, you know, transmitted STDs. He said that even if they were wearing those, that it still would have passed on. So that doesn't fit into it whatsoever. With him that in mind, that's not what this metaphor is. I can just say that. For me, now, what is the metaphor of this movie? So, think about it here. When they're first into the theater, now keep in mind that the guy has it as they're talking. They play that guessing game where the guy picks the kid and he says, you know, it'd just be really great to be a kid, you know, have your whole life ahead of you and you don't have to worry about much. Jay, in the car after having sex, says she used to daydream about when she'd be old enough to, you know, to go on dates. You know, she's like, well, I met this guy now. I always envisioned it would be this really cute guy. The first time she sees it in the school, she runs and goes gets ice cream. The second time she does it, she runs and goes to the play set, the swing set, not the play set. There's a lot of talk of first kiss, You know, remember when we were remember when, you know, back when we, you know, we used to, we got caught with those porno magazines and everything like that. The big showdown at the towards the end of the movie is the pool where Jay and Paul had their first kiss. Also, where they all used to hang out as little kids. They weren't allowed to hang out with themselves. They weren't allowed to hang out by themselves there because they weren't allowed to go south of 8 Mile. And the final form of it appears as her father. Now, what do all those have in common? Maybe you figured it out by now, but I think that this film is talking about growing up, and sex is the driving force behind forcing ourselves to look at growing up and how scary it is and how terrifying it can be to have these new, you know, what everything that comes with growing up, you know, new responsibilities, you know, and the desire to just want to not grow up, to keep hiding into what we were as children and not to, you know, completely find out who we are as people. So to me, that's what this movie is really talking about. I think it does a phenomenal job at it. It's very subtle in the way it does it too. But it's very obvious to me though. Like it's very out there though. Like I do think that you can find it if you're, you know, you're looking for it. So with that being said, the things that I love about this movie, man, the cinematography, like I don't think this film has a bad shot in it. Like every single scene is just perfectly set up. Like I would not have chosen anything different about this movie, the way it's shot. Also, the score is just beautiful. It's not like overly scary, but it's like it perfectly sets the tone for this movie. It perfectly fits the movie too. And the guy who did the scores called Disasterpiece, that's his pseudo name. Phenomenal job. Props to him for that. Also, the acting in this movie by everybody. I don't think a single person does a very bad job at all. I think everybody is stellar in this movie. Yeah, the direction is perfect. The everything. I absolutely love everything about this movie. The storyline is just keeps me there. This reminds me of Halloween, where you're always looking behind the character to see if there's it following her. Like, it gets you looking around everywhere. Like, oh, it may be in the corner somewhere. Like, this is one of those movies where it has you just looking like that. It is incredible. It also has that Suspiria, like, dream-esque to it as well. So it definitely has a lot of... Also, I do think it has a little bit of Elm Street to it as well. A little bit of Craven, too. It also has some homages to Halloween as well. The first time she sees it is a direct homage to Halloween. So yeah, if I were to rate this, my rating for this is a 9.5 out of 10. It is damn near perfect. The only thing that I can say bad about it is every time there's a special effect, the CG in this movie looks pretty bad. The scene, like, towards the end of the movie where there's rain coming down on the outside, it looks pretty bad. And then when her friend Paul hits the thing and he goes flying back, that looks pretty cheesy too. That's about the only thing I could knock on this movie. Other than that, I think it is a damn good horror film. And if you definitely are in the mood for like an art, Suspiria, Halloween-esque type film, this actually, I want to say it takes place right around Halloween. You can definitely tell it's fall, October, November. So definitely recommend checking this out. Micah Monroe's in this, and she does an absolutely incredible job in this movie. So yeah, that's going to do it for my review. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. As always, feel free to like, comment, let me know what your thoughts of this movie was. I know it got really popular to hate this movie, which really annoys me when things get popular to hate like that. I can't stand it, but yeah, just let me know your thoughts. I saw it for the first time too on Blu-ray the full way through, and it looks just incredible. So recommend it. Actually, you can get this at Target for like $9, so it's the steelbook for it, and it's very retro looking, because this movie, forgot to mention, it does have a retro 70s, early 80s vibe to it, so if you're into those kinds of movies, this is the movie for you. Couldn't recommend it any higher. I absolutely love this movie. But yeah, please like, subscribe, yeah, and just let me know your thoughts, guys. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. My review for tomorrow, I think I'm gonna do Insidious, though I might skip that and do something else. I kind of want to just get right to my Halloween movies, because I really am like just, you know, I'm you know, so Insidious can be watched next month or something, but might do Goosebumps tomorrow. Yeah, that's actually what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do Goosebumps tomorrow, so see you guys tomorrow with Goosebumps. Have a good night.